Hello, air sign Aquarius. This is Kerri at wooingnature.life, and this is your monthly reading for the month of May. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you are doing great, and I hope that you are surviving the onslaught virtually unscathed. I hope that is the case. So today I'm going to be reading from the Sacred Earth Oracle. I'll be pulling 2 cards as mental focus for the month. I'll also be reading from Carolyn Mace's archetype card. So we're going to pull some archetypes just to see who's around us in the month of May, or what kind of energies may be out there that we need to be paying attention to. And then after that, I'm going to be reading from the Tarot of 1001 Nights. This is one of my favorite decks. And then we will round out the reading with the Alphabet for Lovers. Now, I am doing Alphabet for Lovers, but these cards, as they will explain to you in their booklet, that it's not just about romantic relationships. It's about all kinds of love relationships, and I will be looking at just what's going on in your relationships, Aquarius, for the month of May, especially since we've been kind of holed up with our family and close loved ones over the past month. We just want to make sure that we are keeping lines of communication open and that we're thinking about how we are relating. Okay? All right, so I will be first reading from the Sacred Earth. Just do one more shuffle and then we'll cut and see what we have. All right, Aquarius. Oh, this is a different one. Perspective, ready but waiting. So we've got 2 things to think about: ready but waiting and perspective. So we'll look at perspective first. Perspective is about how you see things. It's about where those thoughts and how you see where that comes from, because your perspective can change at any time. All it takes is for something to happen to change your perspective. That's it. So perspective comes from how you've been raised, how you were acculturated. You have to go back, and I'm seeing that here and here. You have to go back a little bit, or maybe even a lot, to look at where some of your perceptions come from and where that stems from, because you'll want to be in touch with that during this month coming up. I'm seeing that there are some things that you've been nurturing or nursing into existence. For some of you, you may actually be preparing for a birth of some sort. For others of you, there were different kinds of births. It could be the birth of a new idea or a birth of a concept. But your perspective is going to change how you go about doing that. And you want to kind of put your eye on that during this time. I do see you have your sights on something again, something that you may be trying to birth into existence, but it's going to pay you to take some time during this month to just sort of go back in the annals of your mind and think about where this concept is, where it's going, and then where it's growing from and why it exists, because everybody's life experience fuels the next set of life experiences. Okay. All right. And then in this card, we have ready but waiting. And I'm seeing here that there is something, again, that you're nurturing. I'm seeing that in both the cards. Something that you're nurturing into existence, Aquarius. Something of heart, something of purpose, something that is connected to your core and connected to your values. I think that's why you're being asked to go back and see where some of these concepts and ideas are coming from, because that's going to inform how you move going forward. Okay, so it's time to take a pause. It's just time to take a moment. You are ready and you are waiting. You're ready and you are waiting, but this implies that it's not quite time. Being ready for something is not actually doing it. It's not actually being in it. You're still nurturing it. You're still bringing those ideas into existence. I definitely feel on both of these cards that this is a concept. This is an idea. And like I said, for some of you, it may be if you're expecting a new birth or a new family member into the home, then this would apply to you. But I really am feeling like this is the birth of an idea, a birth of a concept or a project that somebody is working on, that they're trying to bring into existence. But whatever it is, it comes from your eye view. So you are the one who is fueling this. You're the one who is pushing this concept or idea forward. And so this may imply also that there are people who are waiting, or you may feel like you're waiting for someone, but who you're waiting for is you. Okay. So again, that's about how you see things and what your perspective is. Okay, so that's what I am getting there. 2 things for you to think about during the month coming up. All right, we'll move right into the archetype cards. These cards don't come out very often, so when they do, I'm really interested to see what comes up. Archetypes are just personalities, personality types. These could be people who are around you. It could be personality traits that you need to adopt. So ever how it resonates with you, just kind of take it that way. That's the best way to think about that. But it could be people, it could come up, even if it's personality types that you need to embody, sometimes it will come up as people around you, and these are people that spark your attention or get your eye, but it's something about them that you may need to embody yourself, or it may be an aspect of themselves that you need to deal with. It could also be people you have conflict with. Okay. So the way that I read these is if they come in reverse, we read the shadow side, because these cards have a shadow and light side. If they come in upright, I'll read the light. And if they come in reverse, I'll read the shadow side of the personality. All right, let's see who Aquarius has around them. I'm just selecting 3 cards, just the top 3. All right, we've got an orphan child, a shadow saboteur, and a shadow seeker here. All right, so we've got the orphan child. Now, this could be you, Aquarius, or it could be someone around you, someone who may have felt abandoned. If you've been feeling abandoned or having abandonment issues that you are still nursing and dealing with, this is the card that you'll want to be focused on. The light attributes, however, of the orphan child are independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving, or conquering the fear of surviving. So if this is you, Aquarius, know that you have embodied the essence of survival, that you do know how to operate on your own, and that you have gained the skills and the aptitudes and the fortification and the strength to go it on your own and to be completely independent, which is fine. But a lot of times what also happens with the orphan child is that they feel like they can't ask for help when they need it. So please know that if this is you, Aquarius, or if it's somebody around you, or if you're dealing with somebody who's dealing with these issues, just remind them that they can ask for help, that help is there for them, and that they don't always have to do things on their own. So I feel that very strongly for you. We have the shadow. I was going to say the closet. Doesn't matter. It could be the closet saboteur. It could be the shadow side saboteur. But this is somebody who induces self-destructive behavior, or the desire to undermine somebody else. Somebody who induces self-destructive behavior, or they desire to undermine others. And so sometimes that self-destructive behavior, if they are exhibiting that around you, it is about attention and getting attention. So if this is what you need to focus on for that. If somebody is trying to destroy or be destructive or cause a lot of chaos or keep a lot of drama going on around you, it is about them getting attention. And then also people trying to undermine you or undermine somebody else. Certainly if these are things that are going on within you, you'll want to address that and address that right away, because sometimes we can be doing this to ourselves or to others, but you want to be aware of that energy around you during this month. And then we have the shadow side seeker, who has the inability to commit and to a path once they find the path. So somebody who has found the path, who's seeking the path, who's asked for the path, and they want to be on the path, and then the path comes, and then they go, oh, I don't think I want to be on that path anymore. Okay? So you'll want to be mindful if this is showing up for you. If you've asked for your path or your teacher, or you are seeking something as a form of guidance, then you want to be aware when it comes in, because when it comes in, you'll want to take the path, because that's the path that you asked for, or either just to be clear about it in general. Either way. So we've got the orphan child to think about, being able to accept help, accept that that you don't have to always go it alone, but at the same time honoring your independent nature and your strength and all that it has taught you, but then knowing how to move past that. And of course, we don't want to be around these self-destroyers, these people, destructicons, that's what I call them. We don't want to be around that. And then dealing with the inability to commit to a path. Now, if you are dealing with somebody who has sought you out, and then there you are, and then they don't want it anymore, you have to learn how to walk away from that, because people who aren't able to commit, if it's somebody who is unable to commit, or they have commitment issues, you always have those issues with them. Okay? They can act and pretend like it, but if they don't resolve it within themselves, truly, if they don't resolve it, then they'll just keep doing it over and over again. And then sometimes those orphans will overlap there too. Sometimes your orphans will be your shadow seekers. They're seeking love, seeking attention, seeking that from somebody else. And then when they get it, it's like, no, I don't think so, because I'm used to being on my own. All right. Okay. All right, so we're moving right on to the Tarot of 1001 Nights. This is just for your general reading, just to see what's going on with you, what's going on in your world, Aquarius. These are the storyteller cards. These are the cards for the storytellers and of the storytellers. So I wanted to use these this month to kind of get into your world just a little bit, see what's going on. Look at the finite view. We've already looked at the overview with the Sacred Earth Oracle, and then we've looked at some of these personality types and traits that are around you. So now we're just going to go into the nitty-gritty. One more shuffle and we'll be right along. Thank you for your patience. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. All right, Aquarius. Whoa. All kinds of stuff going on here. All right, Aquarius, what we have here, we have the King of Wands here. This is a good place. This is a good place. This is a place of confidence. This is when you are stepping into your full role, your full self, your full sense of being. And when you do that, it's really just you embodying the spirit, and you embodying the spirit on earth. Like, we are all walking spirits. We're all spirits, right? And then there's our highest spiritual self, and then there's your lower self that's just like going through the day, right? But a lot of times people, that gets disjointed some kind of way, because they're going in a way that doesn't follow their values, and so you kind of feel disjointed. But this is when it's all coming together. This is when you are embodying your spiritual self in your walking, in your flesh, and everything is kind of aligned up, and that's the goal. Really, that is the goal right now. I've been talking about alignment, alignment, alignment. That has been the buzzword of the day, is alignment. Of not even of the day, of the month, of the whole year probably, is about aligning yourself with your core values and with your purpose. I'm seeing that here with this number 4. It's actually in reverse, but we'll get to that in a minute. But it is about being aligned with your true purpose. You have to be aligned, because as we move further into this millennium, you being out of alignment is going to cause you more problems than it's worth, okay? So it's best to go ahead and get an alignment, and it looks like that's where you're headed. I'm seeing some spiritual teaching, some spiritual experiences that are happening or that may have happened in your recent past, but you have grown from that and you have become very settled in what it is that you learned from that experience. So that's a positive. But I am seeing here where maybe some of that is not quite materializing, or you may be still trying to develop some structure around that. I feel like the fours are about structure, so it may be that you're still trying to build a structure around what you have learned or what you have been learning or what you've been getting from the past, from the recent past, the studying from the past and that kind of thing. I'm seeing that there is a wellspring, or there is a good place for you to operate from, or for you to envision, embody, and connect to. I do see that there's probably some other person or people around you that are attempting to help you get there, but you've spent quite a bit of time alone with this other thing, and so kind of inviting other people into that process may be a little difficult, especially because you have it in your mind what that should look like. But there's a time for that. So there's a time for you to kind of envision and embrace and create structure, or visualize yourself taking in some kind of or to visualize what it is that you think the structure should be. But then after that, it has to connect to a bigger picture. There's a bigger picture. There's a bigger community around you. It's not just you operating on your own forever and ever. Amen. All right. So, and then the next thing that is up here is that it looks like, there, that you may be missing some things. Some things may be coming in that you're missing. And again, I think that there's this you've been spending quite a bit of time alone or by yourself, or just sort of sorting things out on your own. But it's time for you to start to connect and get together again. I feel like that's where the hindrance is coming from for some reason. And when I say a hindrance, it's not really the thing that you're moving toward is being blocked because of that. Because it's time for you to reconnect, right? And then we have the 3 here, which is about abundance. So I'm feeling like there is something. I see that here. I see it here, and I also see it here. There is a space or a place where you can access that. It's like an access point, but to be able to get to the access point, you may need to make some other connections, because there may be answers to how to get to those connecting points from that place or from those people. So you want to think about that. All right, anything else for Aquarius? Anything else for Aquarius moving forward here? Okay, so we're coming to, there's some closure that needs to happen here. I'm feeling like there is aspects of the personality that have to still be burying the hatchet. Also forgiveness, I see that here too. Being able to ask that if that's what's needed. So again, I feel like it's just sort of some tying loose ends. It's what I keep feeling from this. It's like you're tying loose ends before you go to the next phase. And the next phase is looking good. But it's just that you have a few things that you need to kind of get through. We have the 8 of Swords here, which is like you getting out of the box, getting out of the box, you know. Again, I see somebody encouraging you in that regard. So you're being encouraged to do that from the people around you or from people around you. So don't forget to make those connections. Let's see here. We have I'm sorry, my glasses. King of Chalices in reverse. King of Chalices in reverse. Aquarius, let's see what's going on there. I feel like, again, this is about not being able to, or not feeling like you can quite access that. There may be another individual in your life that's coming in that has this quality, the quality of being benevolent, but it's in reverse. So again, this may be qualities that you need to embody too. You know, you have plenty of self-confidence, but maybe there's compassion that's missing here. Again and again and again, I'm getting the connections, connecting to people, Aquarius. I feel like whoever it is, or wherever you are right now, you're not making that connection. And making the connection is an important part of you being able to access what it is that you want to do next. So you've got to bury the hatchet. You've got to, if there's somebody that needs to be forgiven, or you need to forgive yourself, or you need to start to embrace people again, something like that, you have to be able to do that, because I feel like that's what's preventing it. That's what's stopping it, is you being kind of in this isolated mindset. It could be that you physically are isolated, or it could be, and maybe you're the orphan child. Maybe you feel like you're orphaned, and that could be it. You could be the orphan child. And then when people are coming to try to connect with you, like, no, I got to do it on my own. That's the part that's got to go. Aquarius, I'm telling you, I've been fighting with this reading here. Fighting with it. Okay, and now we get the sun. All right, so that must be what the deal is. I think you are feeling like you're the orphan child, right? And that's why you got this confidence here, because you know you can handle it on your own. That's cool. But the thing of it is that you're not making these connections that you need to make with people. And that's really what's stopping you from being able to get to where you have to get to, because you're having to learn about compassion. And having compassion for other people. You have, you know how to handle your BI business, but being compassionate toward other people is going to require you to make that connection. You have to make the connection. Yeah, I feel like that's what the deal is. And then I feel like you're on this kind of spiritual journey out here by yourself. And then somebody comes in to try to, and you're not paying any attention to that, because you're kind of in your own little world. But yeah, okay, so there's joy coming. Joy cometh in the morning, Aquarius. It does. It does. But you just have to. We know we get you're the orphan child. I get it. I totally get it. Oh gosh. And you're not willing to let it go either. That's why it was just so tight. It was so tight. I felt like I was in the box. I felt like I was in this box. Trying to get out of it in this reading. Aquarius. Okay. So open yourself up. You need to open. You need to open, Aquarius. It's time to open up. 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 And then wonderful things can happen for you when that happens. Okay? Okay. Yeah, so don't be so stoic. Don't be so like nuts and bolts. It'll be fine. Wow. Whew. That was hard. Anything else for Aquarius for the month of May? Good gracious, man. I felt like I was fighting it. Fighting. Don't fight it. Don't fight yourself. That's it for you. For that. Don't fight yourself, Aquarians. Don't do that. Be struggling too much. All right, so let's look at these here relationships. Let's see what's going on in the relationship world for Aquarius. See who you're dealing with. However, who this resonates with you around. It could be parents, this is all relationships, okay? Not just your love and romantic relationships or who you're getting it in with. It's also about your family. It could be parents, could be siblings, could be children. So we're just going to be wide open to see who, what implications and what indications and what advice we can give to Aquarius about the relationships that are around them at this time, or how they're relating, communicating with the people around them. Okay, Aquarius. Y'all by yourself, see? The cards. Y'all on the cards won't even bring up anybody. We got one. All right, living with a leader. Okay, maybe this is you. Maybe this is you. You're all on your own without any relationships. You're living with the leader of yourself. You're leading yourself. But it could be that for some of you, all jokes aside, it could be some people that are um, leaders in their own right. And I want you to think about what it's like to live with you. Okay? If you're the leader in your castle, or you're the king of your castle, or the queen of your castle, I want you to think about what it's like to live with you. And also, how are you communicating to your subjects, okay? Aquarians, you all have ideas. Just remember there's other people that have ideas too around you that are trying to, and their input is significant and good for you, okay? Oh, I did find another one. Here we go. All right, we've got some deception and some pretense for some of you. Somebody is pretending to be something they're not, or trying to, put on airs or something to that effect. They're putting on a show, to be exact. Yeah, this one's putting on a show. Whoever that applies to, they are putting on a show, okay? And they got on the clown costume, the mask. They juggling, they doing all of this stuff trying to, get you distracted, okay? You cannot be distracted, Aquarius, by that kind of stuff. Because this is a show enough clown. This is a show enough clown, so, pay attention. All right, and then we have this one, which is talks about miscommunication and unstable feelings. So for some of you, I'm seeing this one looking in the past as well. So if there are some unstable feelings, or if there's some miscommunications happening, it's because somebody is looking in the past. Somebody's looking behind them instead of looking forward. So every time you're in a conversation with them, they're thinking about what happened 10, 20 years ago, or they're thinking about what happened, when you did such and such and hurt my feelings, right? You got to deal with that. If you are going to remain in this, if you're going to have good standings in this particular relationship, you're going to have to deal with the hurt from the past. Either you or the person who's been hurt that you're looking in the past, or the person that you're with is doing that. But in order for you all to move forward together, you got to get past that, which means you got to go and look at it together. Not just you going, I remember when they did such and such. I ain't gonna never forget it. And then you secretly are bringing it up every time you have an argument. Or you might be bringing it up in their face. Okay? So, and that's either way. They could be doing it to you. You could be doing it to them. But either way it goes, you both have to sit down with that time where the pain was, and you have to work through it. So if you need a therapist or professional mediator can help you with this right here. Don't go it alone, Aquarius. You're going to go down a slippery slope. It's slippery. Slippery. Believe me. Please me. I don't know. I'm playing. Oh boy. Okay. All right. So leaders among you. Okay, wait a minute. I don't know which one I'm supposed to be picking. All right, I've got conventional utopia. So somebody is trying to create a utopian environment for themselves. I think that this is something that's happening because of what's been happening with the global health crisis. I think that some of you all have been examining the family dynamic, the home front, and how you've been managing your home front. And so now you are recreating that. That's what I'm getting from this card. This is families right here. This is families. For those of you who are with families and you have been holed up in your house with your family, it's making you think about how you want to raise your kids differently. It's making you think about how you want to manage your household differently. Some of this has been really good for people because they're learning how to manage their lifestyles differently, and they actually like it better this way, and they're coming up with ideas. So I feel like this is what's going on right now, is some people are recreating how they want to run their household, and that's strictly out of what's been happening with the global health crisis. All right. All right. So the leaders among you, remember how you're talking to your people. Make sure think about what it's like to live with you on the other side of that. Whoever's dealing with this clown, ignorant individual, You can see through this. You know better. Again, for those who are having miscommunication, issues with miscommunication, this is about looking at the past. You need to firmly go in there together and deal with that. And then for those of you who are envisioning new ways of life for yourself, good for you. Great for you. As a matter of fact, I'm really happy about that. All right, so that is your reading, Aquarius, for the month of May. If you want to get your own personal readings, reach out to me. I'm at kerri@wooingnature.life. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful month of May, and you're having a fabulous life.